back when I was in sales many years ago, I was given a worksheet like this. I mean, back before we even had computers, really, like this. And my boss gave it to me to give me an idea of what type of work I would have to go through in order to achieve my goals. All right. And I'm going to show you the done version of this because we're going to put this together with formulas. But I wanted to show you what we have here is if for some, and this is just hypothetical stuff here, but let's just say that you're in sales, your yearly sales quota, $6 million. Let's say that the average sale that you have, maybe you work for a car dealer or whatever it is, right? Your average sale is 125,000, and you make about 5% commission overall. So if you can bring in 6 million, that's 300,000 for you. All right. Now, when you look at this, the first thing on here says number of sales per year. So in other words, if your average sale is 125,000, you need to get what, 6 million? That means if you look at this calculation, what we're doing is we're saying we're going to take what's in B2, which is your dollar amount for the year, divided by B3, which is your average sale, and that's what's giving us the 48 sales per year. So when you look at it that way, and that was the big thing with my boss at the time, showing me something like this because he'd been in it for a long time, and he said these quotas or these goals it might seem overwhelming at first, but then when you kind of break it down and you look at the average sale is 125,000, that's just 48 sales you have to make in a year, and that sounds pretty good. You're sitting there saying, well, there's 52 weeks in a year. That's less than one sale a week. I can do that, So that's the type of mentality, right? So if it's 48 sales a year, in this case, then that's about if we take that 48 and we divide it by 4, that's how many sales we need to make per month. All right, so that's all right. Now, in order to get the sales, the number of presentations that you would do in front of your customer or potential customer, it takes you 3%, it takes you 3 presentations. Every 3 presentations you do, you will get 1 sale out of it, okay? So it takes you have to do 3 presentations. That means that over a year, then, you need to do 144 presentations, because what we're doing is we're taking that B5, or the number of sales that you want, times this number here, which is giving you the 144, all right? It's kind of an interesting breakdown. I mean, if you sat down and tried to put this together yourself, it might take some time, figuring these things out, but it's an interesting concept, right? Well, 12 presentations a year, or 144 a year, is 12 a month, and approximately 1 a day, let's just say. I came up with that one. We're taking this number here and dividing it by 20. All right, so that's what that comes out to. We're kind of rounding this stuff off too as well. And then as far as the appointments, it takes you basically 2 appointments. You got to make 2 appointments in order to get the go ahead to get at least 1 presentation. All right, so it takes you 2 appointments. All right. Well, how many appointments is that? That means that's 288 per year, 24 per month, about 1 a day. All right. And then as far as, and this is the hard part right here. This is the big one right here for everybody. But cold calls, picking up the phone or whatever you're doing, it takes you 35 phone calls, or 35 cold phone calls, right, to get 1 appointment. That means, based on all of our numbers up here, we're taking, the number of appointments per day, right, and the cold calls per year. It comes out to being about 10,000. So we're taking the B15, right, times a B12, which is this number here, that gives us this one right here. So that's pretty wild. Now, that means that's 840 per month, and not too bad. That's 42 calls a day. So, you know, again, this is really kind of meant to kind of show that it's not going to be that tough, okay? If you can commit yourself, you know, given our numbers here, to making those 42 calls a day, then all these other numbers just kind of fall right into place. How about that one? It's kind of an interesting thing. So my whole point is to kind of show that to you. It's not rocket science. It isn't, you know, in stone. It's not going to be 100% right. It might not even be 80% right, depending on your business. But if you can come up with the right numbers based on history, this is a pretty good, you know, model to kind of play around with. Now, what we want to do is I want to show you how to put all these formulas in. All right, so we're going to go back over here to the sales success tab there, right? And this is the commission. Now, this was where I said we're going to be making 5% on the $6 million that we're hoping to bring in, right? So we're going to go to here, we're going to say equal, right? We're going to take our 6 million, all right, times 0.05. Enter that in, boom, just like that, right? Now, the number of sales that we have to make per year then would be to basically take equal, put our equal in there, take what's in B2, this guy here, right, and divide it by what's in B3, right? So take those two, divide them out, 48, all right? Now the next one is we're going to go equal. We're going to take what our number of sales per year, all right? So we're going to take that B2, I'm sorry. And then we're going to take the B12 or B5 here. So B5, which will be this guy right here, right? Divided by 12, right? And it gives us our 4. And that part's good, all right? Now for the number of presentations, we're going to say equal. We're going to click on the B5, right there, times B7, right? Which will be this guy right here. Take those two, got your 144. Now the next one's going to be taking what's in B8, so we're going to say equal. We're going to be taking this guy right here, the number of presentations per year, right? Divided by 12, and that's how many you get per month. And of course, on the per day one, we'd be taking that number divided by what? 20, right? 20 days, if we're not working weekends, let's say. We get that. Now that's, you know, that's kind of a low number there. I mean, we can always round that up. We can go over here and bring that up to 1 if we wanted to. But that's pretty straightforward. Now this next one here, we're going to take what's in B11. Okay, so we're going to take the appointments for one presentation, take that number, right? Times what's in B8, the number of presentations per year, right? That gives us 288, right? And then we're going to take that number, so we're going to say equal, take this number divided by 12, there it is per month, and then take that number divided by our usual 20. And there we go. And of course you can round, you can round that down, I guess, but you can leave it alone too if you want to. All right, now for the last set here, we're going to be taking what's in B15, which is going to be our cold calls to get one appointment. So we're going to take that number, all right, and we're going to divide it, or actually we're going to multiply it by what's in B12, which is the number of appointments per year, right there. Enter it. All right, seems like a lot, seems overwhelming, but when you break it down, we say, okay, we're going to take that divided by 12, not too bad, and even further, take that divided by 20, right? There's 42, and that's what we were talking about before. So hopefully this helps you to some degree. I know a lot of you aren't in sales, and I didn't mean to make this so specific, but the point of the matter is I wanted to show you how you would do these calculations where you're taking items and you're dividing them by 12 to get the monthly, dividing it by 20 to get the daily, that kind of thing. That's what I wanted you to kind of see there, and how to very easily put those in there. But overall, it's also, I think, a great tool that gives you a general sense of what you need to do in business to maybe reach your goals. You might go about, modifying the worksheet a little bit to kind of fit your style, or your kind of like your pyramid that you go through to hit that pinnacle and reach those goals that you want. So I don't want to sound like a sales meeting here, but hopefully this helps you. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and take care. And I might add, if you're still there, just to show you something real quick here. If you said to yourself, okay, my goals aren't, 6 million, my goals are actually 2 million. All right. Oh, 2 million, right? Your average sale, let's just say your average sale is 75,000, right? Something like that. And you're making, let's say you actually get 10%, commission. I mean, that's pretty powerful stuff there, right? So you start playing around with the rest of these numbers, and they all kind of fit into place. So given all we know about our numbers so far now, to achieve this goal would only be 23 cold calls a day. That might be more reasonable. You might use this as a tool to counter what your boss is maybe hoping or expecting of you. Maybe shed new light on certain aspects and say, it's going to be almost impossible to get to these numbers given the tools that I have. I can't make that many phone calls every day, given that and the fact that I have to do presentations and everything else. So can we kind of work things out a little bit better to make it work easier and make it more reasonable, more realistic, that type of thing, whatever. But it's just a tool also to get that conversation started. Okay, anyway, I'll leave you alone. Thank you. Thanks for watching.